Hello subscribers, here is another review, and today we will be taking a look at the Playmates Godzilla vs. Kong Skullcrawler with HEAV figure. Now, this was the Godzilla vs. Kong toy I was looking forward to the most, mainly because we only got one Skullcrawler figure from Lanyard's Kong Skull Island toy line back in 2017, and don't get me wrong, that figure was good, but it could have been better. Like, that one was really lacking in the articulation. But see, this one, not only is it larger, it has more articulation, and has many more features. But before we take a look at the figures, let's take a look at the awesome packaging here. So as you can see, it's mainly blue and orange here, with the exception of Kong, who's more of a brown color. And then Godzilla is looking pretty awesome as well, and he's got a blank wide eye, so he kind of looks like the GMK Godzilla. So you got all the title stuff right there. Let's go to the back. So you pause if you want to read all of the descriptions right there. And then you've got 5 other figures in this 6-inch assortment, including whatever this Warbat creature is. Seems to be some King Cobra kaiju. So let's waste no time and take a look at the Skullcrawler himself. Now, this Skullcrawler figure, in my opinion, does not disappoint at all. This is probably my favorite of the Godzilla vs. Kong figures that have been released so far. Well, maybe the Warbats and the Mechagodzillas could be better, but for now, this guy's my favorite. Now, like all the other 6-inch figures in this assortment, he comes with a battle damage piece. But unlike Godzilla and Kong's, which are quite hidden, this guy's battle damage is quite obvious. You can see the huge lines right there, and then the tab to open it up. But that really isn't a huge issue to me. So let's take it off. Now this one's much easier to take off and put back in than Godzilla and Kong's. See, the piece is a rubber, which is fantastic. And then you got the wound right here, which is all red. They could have painted the ribs and the spinal cord. As you can see, quite a gruesome battle damage right here. So let's take a look at the details right here. Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, like, the Skullcrawlers didn't really have as much scale as, say, Godzilla did, but still a decent amount. See, it does feel smooth, and then especially in the tail area. Now, I'd say the most detailed parts are probably the head, the hands, and the underbelly. You see the hands right there. See, they kind of look like they're like webbed hands. But they still look very nice. And then you got the Skullcrawler's mosasaur-like head right there. And then you got the little holes, which me and I'm pretty sure a bunch of other people thought was the eye. Because, the Skullcrawlers in Kong Skull Island, their eyes are actually quite difficult to spot. Like, I didn't spot them until now. So 3 years without noticing it. You see the teeth are also very well sculpted, right? Very well sculpted. Even though they're blunt, they still look, they have a bit of sharpness to them. And they're not as rubbery as, say, like the battle damage piece, or even, the upper jaw right here. This Skullcrawler has 6 points of articulation. Now, his tail is on a ball joint. The joints in his arms are also on a ball joint. And then you can open up his jaw. It opens up very wide to about 90 degrees. No, actually that's more than 90 degrees. So yeah, I like how you could put the Skullcrawler in many poses, despite, him only having 2 arms and a tail. Now, the paint job is quite interesting. Now, we know that the Skullcrawlers in Kong Skull Island, they have a light gray face, a light gray underbelly, and they were just gray all over, basically. Now, this one, it has the light gray face, but the whole figure is basically brown, and it's got some red on top of him. Now, maybe, I'm not sure if this is going to be like, say, like a giant Skullcrawler that Godzilla or Kong will face off in the movie, or this is probably just for the toy line, and it probably won't be in the film. Hopefully it appears in the film, though, because I would like to see a gigantic Skullcrawler. Here is the accessory that comes with the Skullcrawler, which is a ship called the HEAV, which stands for Hollow Earth Anti-Gravity Vehicle. Now, this looks to be that a flying ship that the human characters will use to explore the Hollow Earth. And it's just one color, just silver all over, but it's pretty well detailed. As you can see, you got all the mechanical stuff right there, and then it's rubbery, but it's not solid though. It's actually quite hollow. So that's the Hollow Earth Anti-Gravity Vehicle. Very nicely sculpted and detailed for its size. Here's a comparison with the Lanyard Skullcrawler figure from Kong Skull Island. Like I said, this Playmates one is easily the superior figure, mainly because it's larger, it has more articulation, and the pose. I mean, like, the pose on here is quite weird, because, like, the Skullcrawlers in Kong Skull Island, their stance was more like this, and not like this. Like, I don't remember a Skullcrawler in Kong Skull Island pulling off this pose. To me, this pose seems like, an armless theropod dinosaur with crazy body proportions. And also, these things alone on eBay go for ridiculous prices, loose. Like, I've seen these things go for like $50 and above. So I'd say forget about this one and just go for this one. I still think this is a great figure regardless, but this one has missing potential. Here is the Skullcrawler next to Godzilla and Kong, and if the Skullcrawler actually is this big compared to them, then he might be actually capable of beating these two, or at least giving them a hard time. So that wraps up my review for the Skullcrawler figure, and my final thoughts on it is absolutely fantastic. While it is lacking in the details, it's just that the size, the pose, and the articulation, it's all great. Not to mention that the battle damage is simply amazing, and also comes with the pretty nicely sculpted and detailed HEAV vehicle. Now this figure, it really exceeded my expectations. For Godzilla and Kong, they were like right on there, but I did not expect this guy to be this good in my opinion. Like right when I took him out of the packaging and attached the tail, I was playing with him for a couple of hours. Seems like pretty immature of me since I'm 18 years old, but we all have that part of us inside us. So if I had to rate him, I probably have to give him like Kong, I would probably have to give him a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. So yeah, you can find this guy at Walmart, even though this one seems to be the hardest to find at out of all the Godzilla vs. Kong figures that have been released so far. Because usually when I go to Walmart, I always see one Skullcrawler on the shelf left. So, if you guys like this review, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.